Good morning, welcome back to the Finca. It's a beautiful day, and so whilst Andy is working in the hay loft building my shelves, exciting, I'm going to plant out the onions, the next lot of onions, because they've been sat in this seed tray here for far too long. We just haven't had time. They're not growing, they're not doing anything because there's not enough room for them. So although they look very, very tiny, I'm going to put them in the ground today, and hopefully they will start to come on now that the weather's getting a bit warmer. So all I've done so far is just put another row of stones to continue this trench. I've dug over the hard, this sort of stuff, dug it over a little bit, and I'm going to put another bag of compost now on there and then just transplant the onions. So I'll crack on.
I'm back in the workshop. We're switching from wood to metal today. What I'm going to do, I'm going to make the brackets out of this stuff. I'm going to cut them into lengths of 200mm, 20 centimeters, and then bend them in half in the press, which is in position there ready, and then drill a hole in each side. One will screw to the wood on the wall, the other one will screw to the shelf. Obviously then, so I'm going to cut them, bend them, drill them, and then paint them, and then when it's dry they should be ready to hang our shelf. So let's get on with it. The next job is to take all these scaggy ends off, and we do that on the bench grinder. Basically just turn it on and just run them around. Goggles on. There we go. So they look like that, nice and round. Right, I'll carry on and get the others done. I reckon I'm going to drill them out before I bend them to get all the holes in exactly the same place. And I'm going to attempt to drill through all 6 at the same time, which should be possible. Just got to decide where I want my hole. I reckon I'm just going to get my tape measure where I want it rather than guessing, and then get them drilled. So there we go, marks, indentation, bit of cutting fluid. Because it's so thick, come on fluid, I'll probably keep adding a bit more. That's the power of the pillar drill. Well, the press was on its way out then. It's just moved by itself. Not that you can see it there. I'll put a bit more fluid in there. Can this be done? That's it. Pretty thick hole, that, isn't it? Pretty good, all the way through. Right, I'll do the other side. So there we are, all drilled. Next, I need to bend them in the press. If I can get this clamp off, proper tight that was. Cool. Right, so let's get that set up. Right, so I've got 3 in the press. I've got them lined up as best I can, I think. By bending them in 3s, I'm bending a shelf full, a shelf worth at once, so they should all be really similar. Hopefully. There we go. got to make sure I get them to 90 because it will bend them a little bit further. I think that's pretty good actually. Let's have a look at them. He sings to me. Oh, fraction further I think actually. Yeah, a little bit further. Now they're bent, I can just drop him back in and I know he's in the right place. That'll get these done and then get the other 3 bent. Okay, so there we have it. 2 shelves worth of brackets. I just need to clean them up a couple where the bottom ones where the drill came through last. Just rough them down a bit. Then we'll clean them up with some acetone or brake cleaner even possibly. And yeah, get them painted.
And there they are. Looking very tiny, but hopefully now that they're in the ground they will come on. As I say, it's getting warmer now and they just didn't have any room in the tray to grow. So, job well done.
Right, so they're all clean and ready for painting. You can see that. It just takes the oil off them from the cutting fluid and any... So I'm not bothered about taking the mill scale off because that paint's alright, but any other stuff that was on them. So the paint will stick nicely to them. My paint's out in the sun at the minute because it's a bit chilly in here, as you can tell. I've got my fleece back on. But as soon as that's warmed up, I'll stick some paint on them and then we can, after they dry, we can go and fit our shelves. And while I'm waiting for my paint to warm up, I'm going to rip down this bit that's going above the tiles on the painted side of the wall. We've had a talk about it, so we're going to just make it the same thickness as the shelf, and so I need to narrow it down a bit. So I'm just going to run it through the saw, then we can look at getting that cut and put in place. Voila! Next I need me 17-degree angle on the end that's going into the corner. So we'll just nick that off and then we'll go and look at the other end. Just like that. Meanwhile, back in the paint shop, my paint's warm enough now, so I'm going to stick a coat on these. I'll have to turn them over and do the other edges after. But get the first bit on. Wonderful, right, we'll let that dry then, flip them over and do the bottom edge. So this piece is going up here along the top. I just need to cut this end to try and make it, that's got a chamfer on it, to try and make it flush with that chamfer on there, which is not going to be easy. So I need to find my pencil, get it marked, and we'll have a go. Yeah, pretty good, that's going to look ideal. Then the shelf's going to come in the corner and meet up to that, nice and tidy. The major headache I've got now is how I'm going to hold this in place. I've cut this end, that matches up pretty nicely to that. So I think I'm going to try, because it's curly of course, I'm going to try a blob of spray foam in the corner there, then maybe one at this end, and then I'm going to run, I've got an adhesive, proper adhesive kitchen bathroom sealer, good strong stuff, and run a bead all the way underneath it. So first off, I need to oil it anyway before it goes on. So I think I'll get it oiled and then I'll see if I can stick it. Right, I've glued it at that end, I've stuck it with the foam. The thing you've got to do, I've got a couple of drawers here full of heavy things holding it exactly where I want to. I need to leave this free because I need to, I'm going to have to lift it up a bit to get this in and get that stuck, but that all has to be done simultaneously. First, if I can just get it to stay where I want it, firmly, securely, we can progress. So it's all oiled anyway, so that's all dry, so I'm just waiting for this to go off now. Okay, so I've left this overnight. It's actually stuck fantastically at that end. So what I need to do now is get this end stuck. I've got a little notch there that slots behind, and that'll just sit nicely like that. This foam's amazing stuff for sticking things, and I know if you buy the tubes, sometimes once you've used them a little bit, they just block up and you can't use them again. But if you get the gun, the special thing, you can leave it attached to it permanently, and you never have to, you know, take it off or clean it out. Just keep on using it and using it until you've used the whole thing. So if you're going to use a lot of it for stuff like I do, as you've probably seen, get the gun. Right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a bit down the back of here, move that out of the way, and I'm just going to use a bit of tape to hold it in place while it dries, hopefully. I'll just test a bit of this in here. Well, you can adjust the nozzle as well with this little wheel on the back to how much you want coming out, so you don't have to blat it out everywhere. And if you do get it on somewhere you don't want, you can buy a foam cleaner that just cleans it off before it sets. So here we go. I'm just going to run a bit down there. You don't need much at all. Just pop him out of the way actually. It's a good fit. That should do it. Put him on there. And a bit in here. Gently does it. Stick him up there. Oh, delicately. That's it. Right, I'll try some tape on it now, see if we can hold it where we want it. Should work. The good thing about masking tape, it's low tack, it doesn't leave any residue either. That's him. That didn't work, did it? Right, I'll mess about with this off the camera. Right, eventually I've managed to get enough tape on it to hold it where I want it. Hopefully it'll do the job. Right, so next let's get these shelves sorted out. Right, so the shelves in, I've just got it propped up with my end piece. Super. What I need to do is just trim this end off, take the tongue off it, and then I'm probably going to have to chamfer my edge piece that's going to go in there just to meet up to it, because my shelf's at maximum length, 2 meters, and I can't make it any longer. But I'm sure it'll look alright. Then I've got another one, the same, that's going to go higher up. I've made the brackets, I painted them, you've seen that, and so yeah, I'll go and cut them. Then they need to be oiled again before we put them in place, ideally. So yeah, I'll go and cut them. So we're outside in the lower courtyard, having a leisurely day today. Sharon's oiling the boards. We're going to do the bottoms first and then stand them up against the staircase to do the tops. because if we left them like that, there's bound to be a cat walks up them,
yes,
or sliding down them, as the case will be.
definitely.
So yes, let's get him oiled. So they're all done, standing up in the sun. There's Katzi, he's up and about, he's much better. So we'll just let them dry a little bit. They don't need to dry totally. Then we'll get the brackets fixed to them. Right, okay, so it's just about dry. We're on our temporary table bench. I'm going to use a lovely awl that Brian kindly made for me. Thank you, Brian. It comes in handy all the time, just to start the holes off, to get the screws in. Okay, that's one. Two. I'll get the other one done and get them screwed in. Right, so the brackets are fixed. It's going in there, just like that. All we've got to do now is get it in. If my trusty assistant can pass me the awl. It's not easy. Okay, and a screw please, and a drill. Come on, get in, get in, get in, get in. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, it's in. We'll get the other two done. Now, stupid boy, it's actually split the wood a little bit, which is not really what I wanted. So I'm going to pilot the others. What I'll do, I'll fix these two ends in, and then I'll take that one out, pilot that, and then put it back in, and that should allow it to close back up. So let's see if we can do that. Oh. Okay, so useful having two drills. Beautiful, lovely. Right, I'll get the M1 done and then we'll have a mess about with this middle one. So there we go, it works, it's rustic, it looks great. Right, so the second one, we're going to put it about that high. What I'm going to do, we're going to fix the back. We're going to put the brackets the opposite way, so they're underneath on this one. I did want it on this, but I didn't want to drill into the tiles. So I'm just going to mark it, mark the hole, pilot the hole. Then we can put the shelf on, because it's difficult to reach into that corner. But it'll lean down and touch at that end, and then obviously we can pick it up and do the others. If that makes any sense at all, we'll show you. So we get in there. In fact, can you pass me those? You don't need to pass them in. Get them in line. Exactly there. Put a little dot on it. In fact, I've got the awl. You pass me the awl, please, sweetie.
Dear, I don't get paid for this, you know.
There we go. Pilot that while I'm here. Right, we'll get them fixed on just like we did with these, only the other way up, and come back to you second. Okay. Right, so theoretically now, if I don't smash the whole thing up, I can put him roughly where I want him. As long as I can get this screw in this hole, and you can see that with my arm in the way. and not tighten it up totally, I can now move this up and down till I get it level, and then once I get this one in, the end one's elementary. If that makes sense. So we've got the spirit level on it. Back a top. Where's me all? And we just lift him up until he's level, which is looks like about there, maybe another millimetre. There. Make our indentation. Relax a minute. I'm going to send the screw in first. Right, so I'm just going to put the screw in first, just to make it easy for it to go in. You know what? No, I'm going to drill it first, because it almost split then. I'll get the hang of this one day, you know. Right, so now, exactly there. Get the screw. Going the right way. Alrighty, right, now the end one. And there we go, 2 shelves, perfect. Another job, good job, well done. Right, so the last piece of the puzzle. I've actually been thinking about sealing in around this bead. We've been discussing it, and I think we're going to leave it because it's actually quite tidy. Anyway, there's not like there's been any water or anything going down there, I wouldn't have thought, because we're not going to be chucking it about or anything. So we're probably going to live with that for a bit, and then we can always do it in the future. But for now, the last piece, we need to just oil these ends, because we couldn't do them because it was stood up and we didn't want to get any muck because we did it outside stuck to them. So there's just this end piece. If you remember, I had to chamfer it off at this end to allow this to come up and down. So I just need to put a little chamfer on it at the top, because I can't make my shelves any longer because they're at the maximum 2 metre length. So I'm just going to put a little mark on here and just take that corner off it to let it come back, round it off, so to speak. So we'll get that done now. Right, so it's done, perfect. I'm just going to round the edges off a bit with the sandpaper, and then using the old foam, you guessed it, I'm just going to glue it in place there. Lovely, that's perfect, that, isn't it? Very, very nice. We're very happy with it. Right, I'll get it stuck in. Right, it's in. We've even got the drill clamp holding it in place. You've got to be creative, you know, with these things. So yeah, perfect. I declare this kitchen done and open. So there it is, all completely finished. And if we do say so ourselves, it looks lovely. This is truly a momentous occasion. All the little jobs are done, all the finishing touches are finished, 99.9% of them. Next, we're going to get this step in here. I might have to clear a bit more of these stones to set it in. Don't know yet, we're going to have a look in a minute. And then what I'm going to do now is clear all this lot out of the way and roll out the mat and see what it looks like, see how it lies. The floor is quite uneven, and I was considering putting some self-leveling on it like I did up here, but it slopes ever so slightly towards the door, not noticeably, but it does. So what I'm thinking, I've got some of the sheets of insulation that we've used in the ceiling and in the walls and stuff. If I lay that under the mat, that might take out the slight unevenness. It's not bad, it's just the odd bit. So I'll get this lot cleared and we'll see what our mat looks like. Right, okay, so the mat's rolled out, that's where it's going to be. So now we know where we need to build our step. We're going to have to stone down the side there, and at the bottom this end is going to meet the floorboards. So we need to find some more of these thin stones, which is not easy. We might have to buy some. Gosh. So yeah, wonderful, that looks fantastic. So now we can work out exactly well, where the step's going to go first, and then we know now where the floor is going to go. I'm going to draw around this with a marker pen and then we can figure out the hearth as well and get all the shapes sorted out, arrange the space. Excellent. So the stroke of genius, all I've done is spray painted around where the step's going to go. So we've rolled them out, keep it nice and clean out of the way, and we can now get to work on the step. Alright Annie, right, so the mat's rolled up, put out of the way, our temporary mat's down. I've just cut out a couple more of these stones that were protruding a little. So now, when the board comes up to the wall there, it's going to be, when it's faced up with lovely flat stones like this, it's going to look marvellous. But I'm afraid we've run out of time again. I don't know what happens to the time at the moment. So yeah, we're going to pick it up. We're actually starting on the floor though, which is fantastic, and that's what we're going to be carrying on with, well, in the immediate future, yeah. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have and you'd like to continue watching our progress, see how we get on, see what we do, please consider subscribing to the channel. Little button down below that says subscribe on it. If you check the bell, YouTube will and select all, YouTube will notify you every time we upload a video, which is currently Thursdays and Sundays. Best of all, subscribing costs nothing. Thank you so much to all the people that have supported the channel, the people that have donated towards Katzi. He's doing really well. He's definitely on the mend. Yeah, he's even chasing the others around a little bit now again, like he always used to do. So that's fantastic. Thank you so much to everyone, and of course everyone who supported the channel as well. And we'll see you on Thursday.